President Trump revving up the rhetoric, as you know, tweeting in support of a boycott of Harley-Davidson because of its plans to shift some production manufacturing overseas. Now, CNBC has just obtained a memo from Harley's corporate parent, Matt Lavach. He sent it to dealers and employees. And in it, he said, and we quote here, "There continues to be misinformation circulated in conjunction with this issue. Motorcycles for the U.S. market and the rest of the world will continue to be made in the United States." How are the president's tweets and tariffs playing out at Harley dealerships? We're bringing in one of them right now. George Gatto is the president of 2 Harley-Davidson dealerships in the Pittsburgh area, including one which has been in the family for more than 50 years. George, thanks for joining us today.
Sure.
I think getting lost in all of this is the fact that the bikes that are sold in the U.S. are made in the U.S. But in the meantime, with all of the hubbub about the possibility of a boycott, have you seen any backlash at your dealerships yet from customers?
We've seen nothing at all, zero. And I asked employees at both stores. We've seen nothing. Nobody's
come in and chastised or asked about it or anything like that?
Not at all.
Are you surprised?
No, Harley-Davidson, we do have an import dealership, and Harley-Davidson is unlike any other brand. It's a family.
What do you think of the president tweeting so much about Harley-Davidson's decision to manufacture some, albeit a small number, of motorcycles overseas?
I get where President Trump's coming from. I get that he wants to see these tariffs reduced. I'd like to see free trade myself, but I also see Harley-Davidson's point where they're going to face $9 million a month in tariffs. I mean, I can think of a lot more important things to do with $9 million than send it to some foreign government.
You haven't seen it yet, George, but if I came into your dealership today and I said, hey, I don't want to buy a Harley because of the president's tweets, I want to buy something else, a comparable motorcycle. Is there a comparable motorcycle, or does Harley-Davidson have a moat in some respects that makes it immune to this call for a boycott?
Harley-Davidson is Harley-Davidson. It's one of the most recognized brands in the world. I spend most of my time in the Harley-Davidson dealerships because I like it the most. The other brands, there's not very little brand loyalty. Harley-Davidson, people, they wear it on their arms, they wear it on their chests, they wear it on their clothing. I followed a Toyota Tundra pickup truck this morning with a big Harley sticker in the back window. And there's a Japanese truck with a Harley-Davidson sticker in the back window.
I was impressed to hear that you've had the dealership in the family for 50 years.
Yes.
Harley's stock is down because they've struggled, right? Your key demographic, getting older, not buying as many motorcycles. What are you doing to try to offset that? Are you seeing that impact in your franchises?
We are. I mean, the recession was huge. We saw massive reductions after the recession. What we're seeing right now is that the entire motorcycle industry, the pie is shrinking. And with Harley having the majority of the pie, 601 cc's and up, Harley's pie is shrinking also. But Harley, I mean, I'll say it's an exciting time to be a dealer right now. Harley has some really cool products coming out, including an electric motorcycle, which I got to ride a prototype a few years ago in Tribeca. That's coming out next week at the dealer show in San Diego. They've also announced a few other models that are coming out in 2020. I've never seen Harley release product this far in advance. So it's pretty cool times to be a dealer because there's some cool stuff coming.
Now, you've already told us off camera that you're not a political guy. You're just a guy that sells motorcycles. But I'm curious what you would tell if you had the president's ear. You as a Harley-Davidson dealer and one that's been in the family for more than 50 years. Do you have a message you would want the president to hear?
Well, if we didn't have tariffs to deal with, it'd be a non-issue. Harleys would all be made in the United States because we wouldn't have to deal with these tariffs. I mean, $9 million a month, that's a big nut to swallow.
Are you having to change the way you're going to do business? Do you think the way you'll have to sell? I mean, I know you've already said that, but it's early, that you haven't heard any backlash yet. If you do, how would you change the way you do business?
I don't know if I would change the way I do business. I mean, I do not watch the major news networks. I do not like all the political fighting. I watch you guys because you all don't do that.
Phew, I was waiting for you to say that.
Yeah, I do. You're the only, in fact, that's the only reason I agreed to do this interview. I didn't want to come on and get have my words be misconstrued.
We wouldn't